Behind me, we've got a bunch of alligators, what looks like a giant swimming pool, and the crew and I are going to get in and see if we can get some up-close underwater shots. Get ready, guys. The brave crew and I are going swimming with gators.
The endless expanse of swampy sawgrass fields stretch on for miles, making the South Florida Everglades one of the most unique habitats on our planet. If you choose to set out on foot, it is likely that in very little time at all, you will become lost in this maze of chaos that is home to one of the most feared reptilian predators, the American alligator. These prehistoric-looking creatures have been on our planet since the days when dinosaurs ruled the Earth, yet they managed to survive beyond the mass extinction of their ancient relatives. I have worked with alligators in the past, from catching a 10-foot, 300-pound specimen with my bare hands, to intentionally placing my arm inside of one's mouth. It's safe to say that I have had my close encounters. However, one style of encounter is yet to be had. I'm going to submerge into a pool filled with alligators and swim alongside them. Today we are working at the Everglades Outpost, a wildlife sanctuary that is home to a number of intimidating alligators. In order to capture this episode on camera, we will be working under the guidance and expertise of Chris Gillette. For well over a decade, Chris has been working with animals of all shapes and sizes, yet he specializes in crocodilians. He also happens to be close friends with brave wilderness wildlife biologist Mario Aldecoa, and together, they have spent years working to educate the public about these oftentimes misunderstood reptiles.
Okay, now for me, and of course for you, Mark, this is the first time we will ever swim with alligators, but Mario and Chris have an incredible amount of experience. They've been swimming with alligators and crocodiles for several years. Now, Mario and Chris go way back together. They've been working together since, what, pretty much childhood, right? Yep. Best buddies. Yep. Best buddies in reptiles. And you guys are just surveying the pond or swimming pool, I guess as you would call it at the moment. And what do we know? Is it safe to get in the water?
Safe enough.
Safe enough, says Chris, who swims with alligators all the time. Now, I'm gonna admit, guys, I'm a little nervous. Being on land and catching an alligator, I feel like I'm in control, but actually getting into their realm beneath the surface is definitely new. So I'm gonna trade in the cowboy hat today for a dive mask and some flippers. We're gonna see if we can get some epic up-close shots.
I am always the first to admit when filming an episode makes me nervous. And in my mind, all I could see were flashes of the alligator feeding frenzy that we also recently captured on camera. So I'm sure that you can understand why I felt that swimming in a pool of them was borderline crazy. Yet despite my hesitation, I fully trust Chris and Mario. So we geared up in our wetsuits, powered on our GoPros, and prepared to enter into the realm of gators.
All right, here we go.
How you guys doing? Good. Good so far, right? Yes. So now the play is to get some more of the alligators into the water, right? Yeah. That's right. So once the alligators disperse throughout the pond, you now have to be aware of where you're stepping. You might be focused on an alligator that's in front of you, but accidentally back into an alligator that's right next to you. Just be aware of your surrounding, slow, calm movements.
Yeah, you don't want to be looking at Casper on the surface and accidentally put your foot in the mouth of one on the bottom.
You guys ready? Let's do it. Let's get the gators in the water.
The American alligator is widely considered to be the most dangerous, non-venomous reptile in the United States. And while attacks do occasionally happen on humans, they are rarely fatal and are often a result of mistaken identity. Their primary and preferred prey includes fish, other reptiles, amphibians, birds, and small mammals.
So this is Casper. He is very nice, very calm, but like we were saying before, even a little bit of a splash can get him to pop up and bite. And then if I'm nice and calm and gentle, you know what's going
Hanging out, right?
get my leg a little bit, but I can still hold him up, hang out with him. And he's looking for food right now. That's not defensively trying to bite.
Mm-hmm.
He's hoping to bump into something edible. You see, if I hold him up, he's actually nice, calm, relaxed. But again, if you make a splash, he goes right for the splash. That's why it's so important. See, we got this one's attention too.
Yeah.
You gotta be nice and calm in here.
So now, am I able to touch him? Like, what would happen if I come in?
Yeah,
and
you
sorta-
can totally touch him. You just don't want to be splashing. And when you look at the side of the face, those little black dots, the integumentary sensory organs, that's what's super sensitive to movement, to sensation. So if you touch those little black dots,
Watch it,
Got
Coyote.
that big snout swinging around at
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you said, all right.
he's,
You made contact, back off a little bit. Wow. So cool being able to just touch an alligator in a calm setting like this. You can just see how laid back this creature's demeanor is. Now, obviously, in the wild, nobody would ever want to get
Yeah.
into like a pond or a lake with an alligator
Yeah.
and get this close.
I've known Casper here for over 10 years. Him and I have worked personally together. So I understand his behavior really well, but he's still a wild animal. That time spent does not mean he's tame, he's not my friend. And I mean, as you can see, if I accidentally swing my arm the wrong way, he's gonna try to bite me.
Yeah.
Just like any other wild alligator would.
Let me get some cool shots right under his mouth like that. That's cool. Now, Chris, do you think if you do that slapping motion, we can get him to sort of bite towards the camera?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's see if we can get that to happen.
You
right
ready?
here. Yep.
Alligators rely on their ability to feel vibrations in the water and also their keen sense of hearing to detect that a possible food source is nearby. So as we move through the water, it was important to glide quietly so as to not mimic their typical prey. In clear water, alligators can see rather well, allowing them to distinguish that we were humans and not prey. So as a result, their behavior was rather skittish.
All right, so we're gonna try something pretty interesting here. Chris, you said you can actually call in one of these alligators, right?
Yeah, so I've done some name training with them and
Okay.
having them associate their name with getting fed. And so there's a smaller one. You met Casper, he's the big guy.
Yep.
There's a smaller one named Saw. I'm gonna call over. Now,
Okay.
we named this one Saw because the face kind of looks like a saw blade. The teeth kind of stick out. So
That's fitting. Okay, here we go, guys. We're gonna actually bring an alligator right up to the cameras.
Saw.
Whenever you're ready.
Saw. Here she comes.
Look at that.
Right to us.
Speeding straight toward us.
It's a good girl.
Watch out, Mario. It's coming straight for you. Wow, look at that, Chris. That is cool. So is that her expecting to be fed?
Yes.
And then coming into the situation, obviously didn't feed her, so she said, oh, nothing for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna move on. She's still curious. You can see she's still coming back into the shot, diving beneath the surface. Do they ever get agitated if you call them in to eat something and there's nothing there to be had?
I don't like to do that. Watch your back, Mark. You're gonna get bit. He was coming over to give you a little nibble there.
Hey, well, that's why I have a team, right?
That's when the attack comes, not from the front, but from the sides.
It's never the one you're looking at.
Yep.
By this point, I had certainly grown comfortable being in a pool of gators. And while we certainly had to stay on guard, we all took the opportunity to get some epic underwater shots. The grace of a gator is truly something to admire, as in the water, these massive reptiles almost appear to be weightless. With their short, stout legs pressed close against their scaly bodies, they propel themselves forward with strong muscular tails. From beneath the surface, it's easy to see how these apex predators are capable of silently moving in on any unsuspecting prey item.
All right, guys, well, that was pretty epic. We spent the afternoon swimming with the American alligator, and the good news is none of us were eaten. That's right. It's
Yeah.
actually pretty safe.
Fun.
Well, Chris, thank you so much for leading this
Absolutely.
expedition. Mario, amazing work as always. Mark, you get some good shots?
Sure did. That was amazing.
Yeah, this episode's gonna definitely turn into something pretty cool.
Getting the chance to enter and fully submerge in a body of water that was teeming with alligators is not exactly the kind of reptilian encounter you would ever imagine possible. Yet under watchful eyes and with expert guidance, this episode helped us prove that alligators are not bloodthirsty man-killers. For generations, humans have feared these massive reptiles. But the good news is that crocodilian experts, like Chris and Mario, are constantly working to educate the public about these animals so that they are viewed with respect and understanding, as opposed to fear. The American alligator is truly king of the Everglades. And unless you are working with an expert, never approach, and certainly never enter a body of water with one of these formidable predators. The safest encounter you can have is to simply admire them from a safe distance. Turtles. 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 For nearly 200 million years, a reptile we all know as the turtle has inhabited our planet. These cold-blooded ectotherms are protected by a hard bony shell. They breathe air and eat their food using a beak. Of the 327 known species that exist today, some live in water, while others can be found on land. Since childhood, I have been fascinated by these seemingly slow-moving creatures. Yet to many people's surprise, they are actually quite speedy, especially when in the water. But what about the land-dwelling, stumpy-footed, slow-moving reptile that somehow defeated that speedy rabbit? Yes, I am talking about the tortoise, and the one question people are always asking. Is a tortoise a turtle, or is a turtle a tortoise? Well, there is an answer to that question. And to help us get to the bottom of this timeless mystery, we are going to get the cameras up close to one of the largest species in the world. Okay, I hope everybody out there watching is excited because right here in this bag, I've got a bunch of vegetables. You guys know the vegetables are good for you, right?
Coyote, I don't think anybody's gonna get excited about vegetables, man.
Well, maybe you're not excited about the vegetables, but you should be excited about who is going to eat these vegetables. You guys ready to see a giant tortoise?
How big is this tortoise? I mean, you brought a lot. Is it gonna eat all that?
Oh, it's gonna eat all of it. We're probably gonna run out of food before we're done filming this segment.
Really?
If you guys are ready, let's go meet Buckshot.
Buckshot, I like that name.
Oh yeah, she's my buddy. There you are.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Buckshot. This is the Galapagos tortoise, the largest tortoise species in the world. And what we're gonna do today is feed her dinner. Okay, Buckshot, hey, where are you going? All the food's over here. First bite. Oh, there's a big tortoise poop. Did you step in that?
I may have stepped on the tortoise.
Oh, did I do it? Oh, I might have done it. Oh, it's on my boot.
Oh man, dude. Oh, Mark stepped in the tortoise poop.
Oh, is it this foot too?
Nope.
It's just
Just
that
that
side.
one.
Oh,
All right,
gosh.
Buckshot, come this way away from your poop. Over here. Come on.
Buckshot.
There we go. Now, one very distinct thing about tortoises and turtles is the length of that neck. And she's holding up the entire weight of her body and stretching out her neck. And they would do this in the wild to forage for plants that were higher up. She could pull down fruits and berries.
Listen to those chompers.
Look at the chomp of that beak. Now, I'm trying to pay attention to where your camera's at, Mark, but I also have to pay attention to her beak, because you see when she bites out, she bites and lunges her head forward, and I do not want to lose a finger in that beak. Ooh, that's a little close there. Oh. We are in South Florida right now, and this is one of the only Galapagos tortoises in captivity here in this area. We were given the opportunity to film with her. Now, she is 25 years old, and she weighs 140 pounds. She actually just almost bit my nose right there. No, my nose is not romaine lettuce, and she is an absolute giant. This tortoise weighs just about as much as I do. I weigh 155 pounds, so this creature is absolutely massive. And oh boy, she's like about to step on top of my leg. Oh, watch this. This is cool. Watch how high she can balance up her 140-pound body. You see that?
It's like even get it all in the frame. Wow.
It's like a brachiosaur eating leaves at the top of a tree. Now, the Galapagos tortoise is an herbivore, and they get a large percentage of their moisture through the food that they eat. And you can see how juicy, ooh, getting close to my fingers. Okay, we're moving on to the next piece. And you can see how juicy a lot of these vegetables are. Oh, here's something. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. She's standing on my leg. She is like squishing my ankle. I never thought I would be feeding a Galapagos tortoise. I hope that one day we can end up on Galapagos Island, one of the islands. Oh, that's better. Now she's not actually on my ankle. And feed some of these tortoises in the wild. How about the cucumber? Let's have some cucumber. That is my personal favorite. There you go.
You know what you should do? A Lady and a Tramp.
With the cucumber?
Yeah.
Put one in your mouth.
Ready?
Good profile.
Oh, she's standing on me. Ready?
Keep going. One more bite.
It's too close to my nose.
No, it'll be fine.
Oh, it's too close. If she gets my nose, it's...
Is there any more cucumber back?
Oh, jeez. I'm telling you, if I get my finger stuck in that beak, it is gonna be game over. She could easily snip off the tip of my finger. Ow! Ow! Oh, she crushed my shin. Oh, she did. There, she's after these. At 25 years old, she is only about a fifth of the size. Now, at 140 pounds, they can grow to be close to 1,000 pounds. Imagine something that is 5 times this size. Look, this is me hugging a tortoise. Oh. Let me see if I can hear her heartbeat. No, nothing inside of that solid bone carapace. Wow, I am in just such awe of this creature. Like, it is massive. Can you believe this?
And this is rare. Like, there's not like a Galapagos tortoise in, every street corner.
No, many zoos do have Galapagos tortoises, but they're actually really hard to take care of in captivity. So this is a very unique situation for us to be able to get up close with this animal. And like I said, I would love to be on the island of Galapagos someday, filming these creatures in the wild, but we certainly weren't going to pass up the opportunity to get this one up close for the cameras.
So, Coyote, I have a question. So we keep talking about turtles and tortoises, and I'm a little confused. What separates a tortoise from a turtle?
Great question. Technically, all tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises. Think about that for a second. Kind of crazy, right? Bit of a brain scrambler. Let's look at the body structure of the tortoise, and that's what will help us distinguish this as being separate from a lot of the aquatic turtles that we're used to getting up close to, right? You want to do that?
Let's do that.
Okay, where do you want to start?
Let's talk about size.
Size, yes, massive size. Now, tortoises are large because they constantly are feeding, right? All this animal does on a daily basis is crawl out into the sun, heat up for a couple of hours, and then it forages all day long. So the more it eats, the larger it grows. And look at the rugged body structure, right? Many tortoise species live in rugged environments, which has allowed them to adapt to a body structure like this. Their skin is like leather. Feels just like an old catcher's mitt. Go ahead, put your hand out there and feel that.
Kind of feels like a rhino or an elephant skin.
Right? And it's interesting that you mentioned elephant skin because look at this leg structure, okay? Both the front legs, no webbing on the feet, just these big gnarly paws and these stumped claws. And then the back feet specifically, here, come back here and look at this. Let me get her to put her foot down. Looks just like, whoop, 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 don't want to scare her.
Looks just like an elephant foot.
Yeah, and that's called elephantine leg structure. And when she lifts her body up, ooh, careful, yeah.
She's a little tentative.
Yeah, look at that.
Very sensitive for a big turtle.
Look how big her paw is next to my hand. I don't want to keep that there too long because if she does step down on my fingers, she can crush them. That's a bit of a risky position to be in. But you see that? They do have claws, and just like turtles, they lay eggs. Now let's look at the shell structure. As compared to a turtle, a tortoise has a much more domed shell structure, right? Turtles are streamlined. They have narrower shells that allow them to quickly move through the water. A tortoise doesn't go in the water. A tortoise just needs to be able to traverse over land.
Wow, so it sounds like tortoises are specialized for
Yes.
living on land. So is that the big difference?
That is, I would say, the biggest difference between most turtle species and tortoises is that tortoises are specialized for living on land. Now, you do have some land turtle species like the box turtle and the wood turtle, two of my favorites that live in the United States. However, tortoises, you'll never find them in the water, right? You're never gonna come across a pond and say, oh, there's a tortoise swimming around. Now, a tortoise may crawl into a puddle of water to drink and to cool itself off, but you'll never find them swimming. They just kind of like, kind of submerged through like a giant tank.
Is she full? Nope.
Oh, she's never full. Well, I would definitely say that we learned a lot today, and that technically all tortoises are turtles. The thing that distinguishes a tortoise as a tortoise is that it is adapted for a life on land. And I can tell you this much, you never want to bring a tortoise to a salad buffet.
I think they could wipe out a salad bar in about 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, especially the Galapagos tortoise.
The turtle is an evolutionary phenomenon that has fascinated both children and adults since the dawn of mankind. And whether you think they are adorable, or scary, slimy, or scaly, I think there are two things we can all certainly agree upon. Turtles are one of the most unique animals on the planet, and I like turtles.
Today we're on location in the Florida Keys at a very famous spot called Robbie's. This is Christina Wilson, wildlife biologist and adventure extraordinaire. Christina, what are we doing today?
We are going to be feeding tarpon, which is one of the world's largest fighting fish.
This is the only place in the world that you can hang off of a dock and feed these fish by hand. Now, me personally, I've caught some big fish. Alligator gar, white sturgeon, even a blue catfish. And that one did bite me. How big can the tarpon grow?
They can get up to 8 feet and 280 pounds.
Yeah. 280-pound fish on your arm. I have a feeling that this episode is going to be a screamer. Ready to feed some fish?
Let's do this.
We're gonna feed you to the fish. See what happens. This looks like as good a spot as any. All right, so we've got our bucket of fish. There are no tarpon in front of us at the moment. Now, part of the tactic for getting the fish here is to get a little bit of scent in the water and also a little bit of disturbance. Wanna smack the water, see if we can get them here?
Oh, all right.
Hopefully you're not bitten first.
Here, tarpon, tarpon, tarpon. Oh, just threw a bait fish in there, didn't you?
I'm trying to get the fish here. A little bit of scent, a little bit of disturbance. So why is this location so famous for seeing tarpon? Many years ago, there was a giant tarpon by the name of Scarface who was found out in the water with his face cut from a boat propeller. The owners here at Robbie's brought it into captivity and stitched it back up. They rehabilitated it and released it into these waters. Who would have ever thought that you could save a tarpon? What ultimately happened is that the tarpon stayed in this area, and as it was being fed and rejuvenated back to life, it began to bring in other tarpons. So you must ask yourselves, do fish communicate with each other? Did Scarface say to the other tarpon, hey, people here are gonna actually help and feed you and ultimately bring in all these fish? Who knows? But today, there are dozens of these tarpon here in the waters where you can come down yourself and hand feed these fish.
Here we go, we got one.
When it comes to fish bites, I've been bitten by a piranha and I've been bitten by a blue catfish.
You're losing.
I got him. A piranha have razor sharp teeth, which of course is gonna cut you open like a hot knife through butter. But the other fish I was bitten by, the blue catfish, has very small compact teeth that almost work together like rough sandpaper grates rubbing up against each other. So imagine a really fine cheese grater digging into your skin. That is the same tooth structure that is built into the tarpon's mouth. Only the mouth of a tarpon.
Oh, you
that's
almost got one.
Yeah, you
brother.
thought about
Yeah.
it? The mouth of a tarpon is much larger than the mouth of a blue catfish.
Right. They've actually been known to straighten fishing hooks because that's how strong their jaw are. Wow. Oh, yeah!
Oh, man. Tip of the finger. Ow.
That was a good one.
Wow, so the speed and the power and the bony nature of these fish's skulls just jammed my finger straight into itself. That really, really hurt.
That one nicked me. That one nicked me.
So Christina, what we're seeing here is the athletic ability of these fish. And look at the way they're just bam, hitting the surface, and that's the thing that for anglers that makes them so exciting, right? It's all about the fight and that bite.
Yeah, and then they got this beautiful jump out of the water. So I'm assuming that your arm might be completely engulfed at some point.
That's Scarface right here.
This one?
Yes, this is Scarface. So this fish is massive. She dwarfs all the, oh my gosh, there she is right there. Oh my gosh. All right, we gotta get Scarface up to the surface. This is the nibble method.
Nibble. Oh! I still got my fish.
What's really cool about the jaw structure is they have this impressive underbite. So they gulp their prey in, right? Just power and force and that mouth opening. And if we get that shot of seeing how wide these fish can open their mouths, an entire human head could fit inside of the mouth of Scarface. Ooh! First blood. What happened?
Man, it nicked me.
That's it? That was just a nick?
That was just a nick. So imagine your whole hand being in there.
One thing that I can tell you, one of the scariest moments I've ever had on the Brave Wilderness channel was catching the blue catfish. Being underwater and placing my hand into the Catfish Hotel and having that fish grab onto my wrist and shake it. I thought it was going to break my wrist. Legit, that was the power. So it was really difficult to go back under there and take a second attempt. So that fish was a fraction of the size of these fish. Any fear that one of these could possibly break your wrist?
After this, yeah.
Okay.
I'm afraid I'm gonna get pulled in, and then there's gonna be a feeding frenzy.
Well, the good news is that tarpons do not eat humans. They are fish eating experts, but Christina's officially drawn first blood, so let's see where this goes. Now, if you hold it by the tip of the tail, the tarpon will probably pull it out of your fingers. However, if you hold the fish down like this, the tarpon will engulf your hand. Now, I would never recommend you guys try doing this if you visit Robbie's. You don't want to get bitten by one of these fish. Their sharp little sandpaper-like teeth will rip up your skin. Alrighty, this is it. Officially chomped by a tarpon. I mean, it's nerve-wracking just to hold the tip of the tail and have them come to the surface. So, the idea of one engulfing your hand, feeling the power of those jaws and the grit of those teeth, man, this is gonna be it. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to be chomped by a giant tarpon.
Scarface is waiting.
Where's Scarface? Oh! Oh, that was a good hit. Not super high out of the water though.
What do you think all of these fish range size-wise right now?
On average, 3 to 4 feet. I don't know if that was Scarface, but that was a big one. All right, first real chomp there. Yep. Oh yeah.
I thought I drew blood, but
all right, second go. Here we are, waiting for Scarface. There she is. Come on, Scarface. Waiting for a big one.
she's right here. She's right here.
Oh,
So close.
that's nerve-wracking. Oh man, knocked it right out of my hand. Okay. Ah, this is nerve-wracking. Scarface, where are you? Go big or go home. Be brave, face Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. Where are you, buddy? I want to feel the wrath of Scarface. There.
You still have the fish.
Still got the fish.
She's coming. She's coming for you. She's
Here
coming.
she is, here she is.
She's coming.
Oh, not Scarface though. Wow, that is intense. As you can see, they definitely light me up, but it's not cutting deep into the skin. It's more like a bad rug burn, a bloody rug burn. Was that Scarface?
Oh, I think so.
That was a huge fish. attack.
Dude, that was massive.
Wow, that one definitely did a number on my arm. All right.
Oh my gosh, man.
Man, that was a hit. That was a hit and a half. This side of my arm,
That's gnarly.
the fish came in from the back. I didn't even see it coming. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was Scarface. Okay, at that juncture, I think I've taken the hits that I need to take.
Yeah.
And it was really the hit on this side that I think was probably the worst. And most likely Scarface. Woo! So there you have it. Hand feeding giant tarpon off the dock at Robbie's. Christina, how was this experience for you?
This was insane.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's important to note that dangling a fish from the tip of its tail, totally safe. Holding the fish in the palm of your hand and letting the tarpon take your hand, not recommended for anyone to try at home. As you can see from my arm, it's a pretty painful experience.
With the setting of the hot Florida sun comes the rise of its nocturnal predators. Some of these creatures, like the American alligator, are not the kind of foe you would ever want to stumble upon while out exploring in the Everglades. And despite the fact that alligators rarely attack humans, their natural instinct is to hunt under the cover of darkness. All the more reason to steer clear of their environments at night. On this humid evening, we are back en route towards civilization after filming a selection of sunset B-roll shots. Traveling the back roads at night, believe it or not, is actually a great place to stumble upon a variety of snake species that slither up from the swampy waters and onto the asphalt to absorb the daytime's remaining heat. Much to our delight, this is exactly the scenario we encountered, and you are now about to witness one of America's most dangerous snakes.
Holy cow. Okay, I got the GoPro rolling. Mario, get the lights, give me that snake tong. We have got a huge water moccasin.
Here.
Give me this. It is right in the middle of the road. Go slow. Mark, kill the car. Keep the lights on though. Wow. Holy cow. That is the biggest water moccasin I have ever seen. Wow. Look at that snake. That thing is huge. All right, we're gonna wait until we've got the lights out. Massive water moccasin just in front of us here. You can't tell how big it is on the GoPro, but it is massive.
That is a huge water moccasin.
Oh, he's starting to move. He's curling into a tighter ball. I'm gonna try to come on this side of it. That's exactly what we want right there. See how it's curling up into a tight little ball? Perfect defensive pose right there. Wow, that is a massive snake. That's the water moccasin for you right there. The quintessential cottonmouth. I'm definitely gonna keep my snake tongs in between me and the snake. These snakes are capable of striking up to 3 feet in length. It will lunge its entire body forward. You can see it's puffing itself up right now, trying to be bigger, saying, I'm a big snake. Yes, we are aware that you are a big snake. In fact, this is the largest water moccasin I have ever seen. Mario, go ahead and zoom in on the back of his tail there. See that little wiggling of the tail? Mimicking the movements of a rattlesnake, trying to warn me, back up. I am agitated. You can see he's puffing up his body now. Woo! Whoa! Did you see that?
Yeah.
I barely even moved, brought the snake tongs back, and it struck at me. Look at the position that his head is in right now. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I just want to test the distance of his strike here. See if he's gonna strike again. Okay, he's got his back to you, Mark, which is good for you, not necessarily good for me. Oh, you see that? Another strike. Okay, I've kind of tested his limits. You still got an okay shot there?
Yep.
Wow. Look at how heavy-bodied this snake is. There's no way you would mistake a water moccasin of this size for just a normal water snake. And oftentimes those two species are confused for each other. As you guys know, we've done an episode in the past where we've compared the water moccasin to the water snake. And at that point, we compared two snakes that are of similar size. This thing is an absolute giant. And one way to easily identify a moccasin when it's fully adult like this, look at the banding right on the side of the face. Mario, see if you can zoom in on that there. Oh, wow, just bit the tongs. Did you see that? Okay, completely spun its body around. Go ahead and zoom in there. Get a good shot.
Let me get on my feet. He's a little closer than I'd want to be when laying on the ground there.
Now, if the snake does decide to take off, Mario, Mark, you both just get up and I'll get a hold of it with the tongs or get in front of it. There you go. Now you can get a better idea of just how long this snake is. I'd say it's close to 3.5 feet in length. Ooh, an incredibly dangerous snake. Now, when I say this moccasin is big, it's almost an understatement. I want to give you guys something for scale. What I'm going to do is actually move the GoPro with the snake tongs in close to the snake. Oh, geez, struck right out at the camera. I guess he doesn't like GoPros. So you can have something in there for scale. Can you see that?
Oh yeah.
So that's a GoPro next to the head of that snake. The snake's head is almost as large as the GoPro is. When it comes to the girth of its body, I would say in circumference, it's probably close to 6 or 7 inches, and the length of the snake is around 3 to 3.5 feet. This is without question the largest water moccasin I've ever seen. Now, as we know, the water moccasin has a very popular nickname, the Cottonmouth. What they'll oftentimes do is curl up in a tight ball and then bend their head back and gape their mouth open. The inside of the mouth is bright white, just like a cotton ball. And as we know, that bright white coloration is aposematic, warning any predator that this bright color means that I am potentially toxic. Now, when you're talking copperheads versus water moccasins versus rattlesnakes, I would say that the water moccasin is pretty much right there in the middle when it comes to toxicity. Armed with a hemotoxic venom, and if you were bitten by this snake, there's no question about it, you were going to find yourself on the way to the hospital. All right, Mario, go ahead and zoom in on the snake's head. See how he's got his head positioned up like that and has a very triangular shape to it, almost looks like the spade of a shovel, the front of a shovel. That signifies that this is a venomous snake. I know we featured this snake species on the channel before, but most of those have been small to medium sized. So as we were just driving out of the Everglades here and we saw the snake, we had to stop the vehicle, get the lights out, get the cameras, and get a couple of really cool shots. All right, that's exactly what we want right there. He says curled himself up into a bit of a tighter ball. Getting okay, or he's ready to strike, and he just completely bit down and wrapped his head around the snake tongs. Look at all of the venom on the tongs.
Let me get a shot of that real quick.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's a lot of venom.
Yeah. Now you may be asking yourself, what is this snake doing in the center of the road like this at night? We actually just finished filming sunset B-roll shots. We're getting ready to drive ourselves out of the Everglades, and here's this giant right in the middle of the road. What the snakes will do at night is come out and lay on the asphalt to warm up. Now, the water moccasin is primarily a nocturnal species, so what's getting ready to do now is after it heats up, it's gonna head off into this underbrush and it's gonna begin hunting. Now, as a semi-aquatic pit viper, they have a really incredible opportunity to be in the water and hunting for things like fish and amphibians. Now, as compared to the other venomous pit vipers that we have in the United States, like rattlesnakes and copperheads, this is the only one that's actually capable of spending a significant amount of time in the water. Well, at this juncture, I think it's probably best that we gently move the snake off the side of the road so another car doesn't come and accidentally run it over. This is a pristine specimen when it comes to the quintessential water moccasin. How cool is this? Stumbling upon one of the most notorious pit vipers here in the Everglades. All right, buddy, let's move you off the road here.
Came right at me.
All right, there we go. The snake is now safely on the side of the road. He's gonna disappear into the underbrush and continue his night of hunting. See you later, big guy.
Of all the venomous snake species in the United States, it is a valid statement to say that the water moccasin is one of the most dangerous. They are quick striking and incredibly defensive if cornered. Their venom is not the most potent. However, when they deliver a bite, it usually comes with a powerful punch and a heavy yield of toxins that will most certainly send you to the hospital. It's important that you never try to catch or harass one of these snakes. And if you see one in the wild, Remember that like all slithering reptiles, they simply want to be left alone. And if you walk in the opposite direction, your encounter with the notorious Cottonmouth will be a completely safe one.
Over the years, we have milked venom from all of the world's most dangerous snakes. And if you've been following along with these crazy escapades, then you know that we have strategically skipped over one of the most terrifying species, the mamba. We are back in DeLand, Florida, at the Reptile Discovery Center. And as always, we'll be working with America's favorite snake expert. Look at Carl back there getting warmed up for a morning filled with fresh snake milk. In the world of venomous reptiles, there's nothing more terrifying than an angry mamba. They're fast, strong, intelligent, calculated, and armed with a highly neurotoxic venom that if it enters your bloodstream is a guaranteed death sentence. Now here's something crazy. Carl has been bitten not once, but 3 times by these snakes, which makes today's venom milking episode the most dangerous one that we've ever produced. Hey!
Hey, Coyote, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Carl. How are you?
Welcome, welcome. Good to see you guys.
Thank you. We are back, and we are here to milk mambas. Let's talk mambas for a second, because generally people know there's the black mamba.
Yeah.
They know there's the green mamba, but in total, how many mamba species are there?
Yeah, so we really just say 4 species. 3 species of greens, and then of course the infamous black mamba. They are all African snakes. They're kind of distributed in different places through sub-Saharan Africa. Although interesting, the black mamba has the largest range of the 4 different snakes.
And the black mamba, as everybody out there watching knows, is so revered throughout its range. I mean, it's the snake that truly terrifies people. I would say of any snake on the planet, we hear that people are more afraid of black mambas when we're traveling, mostly than any other snake. What makes a mamba so dangerous?
Yeah, you're gonna see a little bit of it today. Black mambas, of course, get big, almost 12 feet. That's an enormous venomous snake to begin with. They're terrifically toxic. Years ago, they would say before the advent of antivenom, the black mamba was 100% fatal in a bite. That's probably not entirely true, but no doubt. He's a hypertoxic, very large, very active elapid. So even though mambas are in fact shy, nervous, retiring snakes, when people are forced to interact with one or inadvertently step on one or have cornered one, they become a formidable adversary and a really challenging snake.
Okay, now the word that you said in there was nervous. And I can completely identify with the nervous nature of a mamba, having worked with one in the wild. We did work with a black mamba in the wild in South Africa.
That's magnificent.
And they keep you on edge for sure. And it's that nervousness that's very calculated at the same time. So in your opinion, when we're talking one being more dangerous than the other, green versus black, which one ranks as a more dangerous snake?
Well, as a more dangerous snake to handle, certainly the black mamba.
Okay.
And then more dangerous in general, again, the black mamba. He's capable of a large venom yield, a terrifically toxic venom. They're a challenge to handle, as you say, somewhat calculated and deliberate, and terribly unforgiving of a mistake. So we were doing lots of mamba venom in the late 90s and early 2000s. I have been bitten by 3 of the 4 species of mambas. That's very embarrassing.
Okay, so let's talk about being bitten by the green mamba for a second first.
So the green mamba was actually my second mamba bite, and because of the work we do with snake venom, I have become hypersensitive, allergic to snake venom. Like you would be to bee venom, it makes my work a little trickier. We have a terrific, what we call anaphylactic event. We tend to treat that on the way to the hospital, meet the emergency services people. They get an airway for me, get me going, and then into the hospital for antivenom. But by the time I was in the hospital bed, so now we're talking 20, 30 minutes post-bite, I was getting sick. I was having blurred vision, I was salivating, I couldn't get a kind of a swallowing thing happening, and so we were already starting to experience some neurotoxicity and this kind of thing. The tissue involvement and the blood formations happened later over the course of the next 2 days.
So do you have mamba antivenom here on site if the worst case scenario were to happen and heaven forbid you were to be bitten?
Absolutely. So we've got a number of different mamba antivenoms on site.
Now, my heart is going faster than normal. We're in a tight enclosed room. There's lots of venomous snakes. You're telling me this story about having been bitten by the snake species. I know the demeanor of these creatures. Do you at all get nervous in working with any of these, especially something like the mamba coming out today? Any sense of like heightened anxiety?
No, but I get hyper-focused.
Okay.
You know, the whole thing that allows us to do our job is we don't fear the snakes, we understand them, but we certainly understand what's in play and the gravity of a snake bite. It's not something we take lightly.
Yep.
We haven't had a snake bite in 16 years. We've been safe for a very long time. We're going to continue that safety record today. Moving, coming towards you, Mario.
Whoa. Wow, it's beautiful.
They really are spectacular, aren't they?
Pressure.
Don't change anything. Good.
Whoa.
Tell me when everybody's good.
I'm good, Mario. You good?
Yep.
So this is the milking moment right here, and smaller fangs, obviously, so you don't worry about them necessarily catching a finger, right?
So as elapids go, mambas have pretty long fangs, especially blacks. And remember, greens are often arboreal. They're almost strictly arboreal. And so these guys are often feeding on little birds and that kind of thing. And so those longer fangs help them. So we're going to bring him through. There he goes. You saw that first little shot.
Yeah.
Again,
Oh.
another. And another. Give him 1 second. We'll see if he'll bite one more time for us. So
That was crazy how it shot out of the fangs, more than just a drip. It was like, boom.
yeah, you see this beautiful little chut, chut, chut. You know, again, they'll give you 3 or 4 shots. And let's see if she'll go one more time here. And that's about it.
I saw a little bit on the backside there.
So that's a good yield for that snake. We typically plan on about 50 milligrams for a green. My guess is that's actually quite a bit more than that. And as I said, that beautiful, slender, arboreal snake. And as a lapid go, these guys are really great snakes. I mean, that's really a beautiful, spectacular animal. We'll go back in.
is.
Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. The way the venom shot out was much different than we've seen from some other elapids. I mean, once that venom goes in, guaranteed death sentence without anti-venom. That went pretty smoothly, I'd say, right?
Good, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's get this venom secure. We're gonna come back to that at the end of the episode. And we're gonna tell you guys how many humans Carl estimates that yield would be able to kill. But first, we gotta talk black mambas.
Yeah, Coyote. So the black mamba becomes kind of a formidable snake as soon as you decide that you're going to interact with them.
Yeah, this snake, like as soon as we had the flashlight on, it knew, okay, I've been spotted, and as soon as we started moving stuff, it was like, get me out of here. It wanted to get away.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. So they're always looking for an out. They're thinking, I got to get out of here. Rightly so, right? They're dealing with this. So the thing with black mambas is they're somewhat unpredictable, particularly when they're restrained. And so we never entirely know how that's going to go in terms of how much trouble we're going to have actually just getting a hold of him safely. And when I say safely, that's both for us and for him.
Yep.
Or we're really concerned about making sure our animals are not hurt in the process and that they're handled properly and gently, but within reason, because we really are paying attention to what's happening here. And as you said, the idea of working an 8-foot elapid in this area that's unhappy.
It's intense. We did King Cobra here a couple years ago, and that got intense real quickly. Don't worry about the camera. But this is compounded because not only is it a calculated, highly toxic snake, but this is another species that you were bitten by, and you are very much allergic to the black mamba venom as well.
Right, so a black mamba bite was the first mamba bite I had, a big 9-foot male, way back in 1997.
How did that happen?
And we had actually collected the snake's venom, and I was returning the snake to the cage, and we were somewhat new to black mambas. We had only been handling them for about a year at that point, and I was still gaining my understanding there of those guys. And as I was going back into his cage, I had his coils kind of grouped in this hand, and I got his head too close. I went and he struck onto that finger.
And they're strong, so he was able to just use the momentum and the power of his body.
Exactly, and I didn't foresee it. You know, he saw that thing. We always used to say years ago when we were doing a lot of mambas, mambas are terribly unforgiving of a mistake.
Yes.
They're really aware of their distances. They're really aware of where you are. And so the big thing there is, right, you're never close enough, you're never in striking range. And of course, I thought I was controlling the snake's head, but I wasn't adequately controlling his head, and so back into this. So that was it, and we got some pretty good venom on that bite, and things began to happen very rapidly. At that point, I was not allergic to mamba venom, so it was a straight black mamba bite, and we were really able to document some amazing symptoms. But black mambas, again, heavily neurotoxic. Things began happening really rapidly. I was vomiting, blurred vision, convulsions. I was having bronchospasm. So we had some really serious symptoms. One of the good things about black mamba venom is it neutralizes well. So once you're getting antivenom, I can remember when they started the antivenom wide open, I could almost feel this sensation of, oh, okay, now we're moving in a better direction than we were. So after 2 days of intensive care, things got good very rapidly. And there's almost no local issues with mamba venoms, or at least black mamba venom.
Right.
So we don't see any tissue involvement or big hemolytic factors here, hemorrhaging, none of that stuff like you would be in a rattlesnake or a viper bite. So blacks are kind of purely neurotoxic, both post and presynaptic, but that thing can really get going fast.
Okay, so care is of the utmost importance today, and a couple of years ago when we milked the king cobra, you had this amazing grab of the snake after it was just so rambunctious, and I said, whoa, look at the speed, Carl is faster than the cobra. We know at one point Carl was not faster than the mambas, so hopefully today I can say Carl is faster than the mamba.
Carl is getting slower.
So let's get out the black mamba. Mara's gonna pop back in and help you wrangle the snake. We'll get into position. This is as intense as it's going to get today, guys, when it comes from a danger level situation. The black mamba coming out, we've got to be extremely careful. So Carl, we're under your command. You let us know where we need to be, and let's make sure everybody's safe.
Okay, great. Is everybody good?
Everyone's rolling. You are
All
ready
good?
to go.
I'm hoping he's going to be in a good mood today. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh, that's a big snake. He's a monster. Woo!
I'm right in. Whoa, there, baby. Nice. Okay. Babe, good. Want to get him there? Can you have him? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Yep, all set. Everybody's set. You can be wherever you want to be.
Okay.
Get that, put that over there.
See, this is what I experienced. They coil up and they're so strong. That's one thing that I did not anticipate with the black mamba, is its ability to coil around you. And when I was presenting the snake on camera, the only thing I was thinking is that if I lost control of the snake, and remember, we had it in a tube, so I felt much more in control than you are now. If you lost control, that snake would be latched to you.
100%. And as you said, if he's wrapped up around you, getting rid of him presents a very real issue. So it's one of the reasons we stopped going back into the cage and we started just going into a transfer camp.
Okay.
So you can see he's ready to bite. He never fully understands this restraint thing. Is everybody good for him to bite?
Yeah.
Very good.
Everybody's good?
Yep.
There he goes again. Wicked
Wow,
shot right
so
there.
fast.
Wicked shot. Good. Another shot.
Look at that, just the bite and release. And it can control how much venom it's giving, correct?
Totally metering what it's giving me, absolutely. We think that process is largely cognitive, and he's deciding, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you this. And mambas, again, especially blacks and westies, really famous for these shots at a time. A little bit. We'll get him again in 1 second. Are you good?
It is the intensity that the venom shoots out that you can understand how quickly then that gets into your body.
It's a millisecond, right? It's a millisecond. With blacks, I can remember on my bite, moving to the sink to wash my hands. You always take a minute to decide if the bite is actually hot. And all of a sudden, my lips start going numb, my face is tingling. I was maybe 20 seconds into that snake bite. And I remember thinking, here we go.
And hot means you've got venom in your body, correct?
We've definitely got a hot bite, right? So one more shot. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was even a decent amount of venom right there.
Yeah, so that's really a good yield. We're probably looking at 150 megs there, which is about what we like for an adult black, about there. And he really did a good job today.
All right, I'm gonna just back up out of the way a tiny bit there. So
perfect. So Mara, you're gonna go back to your grab stick. Yeah, good. And then will you do me a favor? See that garbage can right next to you, Coyote?
This one.
Take all that stuff off it, yep. And you're just gonna put it down there by Mara. Awesome, great.
Lid off the top.
Yep,
Please.
perfect.
Okay, so I'm pressure now.
Yep, and you've got him.
I've got him.
Good, now hold on 1 second. Good, I'm gonna let him go. I've got him, thanks, buddy.
Okay, I'm letting go.
Yep, good now. That's a lot of snake. Hold on. Yep, hold on. Thanks, Coyote.
And that's where I say, Carl is faster than the mamba. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That was intense. The snakes are back in their enclosures, so we feel a little bit safer at this point. But we've still got two very toxic cocktails in front of us, the green mamba venom, the black mamba venom. And Carl, this is the part of the episode where we add up the number of what I like to call tombstones in regard to snake venom yield. Talk to us about these yields, and then we would love to hear your estimate as to how many humans this yield plus this yield would be capable of killing. So let's talk about this one and then that one, and then we'll add them up.
Okay, Coyote, so when people talk about dangerous snakes, there are really two parts to that, maybe three parts to that equation. One part to that equation is venom toxicity. So we know that mambas really rank up in the upper toxicities of snake venoms, right? So as the lapids, cobras, and mambas, and all these snakes go, coral snakes, mambas are right up there. The next part of the danger equation is venom yield. And this has to do with how much venom does a snake put out in an average snake bite. And so we're going to talk about mamba venoms here, the East African green and the black. The East African green yield is about 50 milligrams of venom on an average yield. Now remember, we had that snake bite multiple times.
And it's got a pretty low viscosity.
This does. So some mamba venoms tend to be pretty light, pretty almost watery, whereas lots of our cobra venoms, this kind of thing, tend to be really viscous. King cobra venom is almost like maple syrup. All of that plays a role in how the venom spreads in the body. But so in the green mamba yield, now remember, he bit 2 or 3 times on this thing. We wind up with about 50 milligrams of venom. And we think that a guesstimate on green mamba lethal dose is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 or 15 milligrams of venom.
Wow.
So this would be probably in the neighborhood of 3-4 lethal doses of venom, something like that.
Okay. 4 tombstones off of the green mamba bite. Now black mamba, bigger snake, bigger yield.
Sure. And a greater toxicity. So black mamba venom, we think probably somewhere, a lethal dose, probably somewhere between 5 and 10 milligrams. To give you a sense of that, that would be like 5 or 10 grains of salt in your hand. That's a lethal dose of black mamba venom. Again, we had that snake bite more than once. He gave us about 2 or 3 shots in here, but we're looking at about 200 milligrams in that draw right there. So of those shots, we were looking at probably 50 milligrams, 60 milligrams, this kind of thing. We wound up with a total yield of about 200 milligrams. So in the case of black mamba venom, if we were to say, well, 10 milligrams is lethal, and I think that's probably high, we would be looking at 20 lethal doses of venom here. So, and if we cut that in half, 40 lethal doses of venom. And again, we were talking about danger and yield being a part of that. So a big king cobra might give you 1,200 milligrams of venom for maybe 60 lethal doses.
Okay.
So even though quite a bit less toxic than the black mamba, the king cobra, or at least less toxic, huge amounts of venom. Or an eastern diamondback, where you might get 10 lethal doses of venom in one shot, because it's way less toxic, but lots more venom. Does that make sense?
Makes complete sense. So it has to do with the level of toxicity, the yield, and I imagine the last part then becomes the snake's proximity to humans and how often you may or may not encounter that snake based on where it is that you live. So what we're ultimately able to surmise here is that a mamba bite is a guaranteed death sentence without antivenom regardless. It doesn't matter if it's going to kill 4 people or 20 people, you are one single individual person. And if you were bitten by either of these snakes, it's a medical emergency.
no question, a medical emergency, and potentially, depending on how much venom he injected, lethal. Yes, absolutely.
So what happens with this venom now that we've milked it? Where does this go specifically?
So the venom here will be filtered, it'll be cleaned up a little bit, it'll be frozen, and then it'll be freeze-dried into a powder form, into a powdered substance. And once we have it in that freeze-dried form, it can be stored for literally decades. All of our mamba venom is going to research applications. We are not producing these venoms particularly for antivenoms. Some of the labs around the world are producing venom specifically for mamba antivenom. We don't do that here. Our mamba venoms are produced for research, and a good part of it is in the United States or Europe.
Right. And when it comes to anti-venom and its availability based on where you live, so here in the United States, the snakes we can come across, anti-venom is produced that specifically can help people if they're bitten by those species local to them. But in a country like South Africa, where you've got a lot of these snakes, depending on where you live, could be a big difference as to whether or not you can even get antivenom, correct?
Yeah, you know, I think the African continent is really a good place to think about the disparity in snakebite treatment worldwide. So we still see tens of thousands of deaths from snakebite in places like Sub-Saharan Africa, in places like Southeast Asia, in parts of Central America and South America, where medical care may be days away. And in fact, when the individual gets to where they're going, there may not even be antivenoms available.
So it's not even guaranteed that if you were in Africa and you were bitten by mamba, that if the medical facility you got to may not even have mamba antivenom.
It may not even have mamba antivenom, and the medical facility may in fact be 2 days away from where you are out in the bush working with animals or whatever it is you're doing out there.
Proximity is
key.
Everything.
In you know, developed countries, we have an incredible luxury in access to medical care and access to antivenom in snakebite.
Well, Carl, the work that's being done around the world, specifically the things that you and Mara are doing here to milk snakes and then ultimately have that venom be produced into antivenom, is saving lives on a daily basis. Thousands of lives every single year. So thank you for all the continued work that you're doing.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
again, as always, for having us out here to the Reptile Discovery Center. Getting to milk the mambas today was certainly the top level of venomous snakes that we could have done a venom episode.
Glad you guys enjoyed it.
Snake bites seriously injure or kill over 600,000 people worldwide every year. How crazy is that? And Carl told us about this amazing group, the Asclepius Snakebite Foundation, a nonprofit that is dedicated to reversing the tragic cycle of snakebite outcomes through innovative research, medicine, and public health initiatives. Believe it or not, snakebite is a global health crisis. And if you want to help, check out their website, because every donation helps them save lives.
What's going on, guys? It is a scorching day in Florida. We're driving around right now. There's Mark.
Hey, it's broiling 63 degrees outside.
Well, 63 is pretty hot. Got Mario back there, and I think it's the perfect time to get an ice cream. But I have a plan for this ice cream cone. So we're gonna go through the drive-thru at McDonald's right now. I don't oftentimes eat McDonald's unless it's for ice cream. So we're gonna love it today and do something extra special with this ice cream cone. So stay tuned, and we're gonna show you.
I'm just gonna eat my ice cream cone.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat mine.
I don't know what you plan on doing with yours.
I plan on sharing my ice cream cone with a special friend.
Oh!
You'll see. Oh, there's little Mario. Ready for my ice cream.
Hi. I'd like to get 3 vanilla cones.
I'll get mine extra large.
As big as you can make them. $21.
$21? How much ice cream did you buy?
It's $3.21.
Oh. I kind of want a Big Mac.
Man, I haven't been to McDonald's in a while. Mario, there you go. I think it's pretty amazing.
Good. All right, now on to the next step. Taking this ice cream cone to see one of my special friends. The cone's starting to melt. We're almost there, though. I'm trying not to actually eat the ice cream cone. My friend's gonna be really disappointed if I show up without the ice cream cone. You guys think B-Rad, the baby sloth, was cute? Wait until you meet today's buddy. As long as this ice cream cone survives, you're gonna get to meet Little G. Okay, the good news is that we have made it to our special location. All right, here we go. I'm gonna give the GoPro to Mario. You ate your whole ice cream cone.
Yeah, because I know how to film.
All right, here we go. I'm excited.
Is he home?
Little G, are you home?
I see him.
I always like to knock first just to make sure. Oh, look out, there's a big tortoise right here. There he is. Hey, buddy.
Is this little G?
Oh, that's Big Pig. Hi, buddy. Hi, Big Pig. Right over here, it's my buddy.
Oh my.
It's a baby billy goat. Look what I brought for you, buddy. Oh, my little friend, getting a suntan, huh?
Hey.
Where you going? Oh, well, he wants your ice cream cone.
Oh.
What about mine? I brought this one for you, little G.
Oh, look, a little G likes my ice cream better.
All right. Little G, over here. Oh, here. This is the one you want. Oh, I guess he likes yours, Mark. Look at this. One for you and one for me. Look at that. I don't think Little G likes ice cream cones. It looks like Little G is not going to eat the ice cream cone. I was almost certain that this little goat would want an ice cream cone.
I know who would.
Who? Big Pig. Okay, Big Pig, here you go. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Big Pig loves an ice cream cone. Let me get the paper out of here. Let me see, Big Pig. Hold on. Here's your ice cream. That's how does a pig eat an ice cream? Oh, there you go. Oh, Big Pig. Oh my goodness. How does a pig eat an ice cream cone?
Yum, yum,
Who's
yum,
my
yum.
buddy? Who's my buddy? Oh, I love you, Big Pig. Okay. All right, well, that is
something on the lens there.
Yeah.
pig schmear right there. Ooh.
Oh.
Ice cream pig schmear. You're gonna have to kind of wipe that off.
Yeah.
Well, the ice cream cone didn't work. Little G, that was the idea, but now we've got some actual goat food. So let's see if you want to eat some of these delicious greens. Ready?
And how did we come to meet Lil G?
Well, right now we are at the Everglades outpost, and Lil G just lives back here behind the scenes. Oh, I see you. Let's see. Oh,
yeah.
That's the good stuff, huh?
He's health conscious.
Give me some of that. Let me have some. Look who else is joining the party. He's like, oh, I'll have some of those greens, please.
Who's this?
That's a big sulcata tortoise. I'm gonna sit down on the ground with you. Come here. Come sit on Uncle Coyote's lap. Oh,
there we go.
Now, we don't usually show you guys farm animals, which I guess technically a baby billy goat is a farm animal, but this little goat is just so cute. We had to get it on camera. Oh, here comes Mr. Grumpy. All right, we'll put a little bit down there for Mr. Grumpy. Feeding a tortoise and a goat at the same time. Wash my fingers.
I could have sworn this goat would have loved that ice cream cone.
Oh, I thought so too. I thought the ice cream cone was gonna be a surefire thing, but as we know, goats are herbivores, and this salad is exactly what Little G was in the mood for. Ooh, don't bite my knee. Oh, be careful there, big tortoise. You wanna try some apple? Let me see this. Ooh, look at what Uncle Coyote's got. Oh, he loves that. Like a little apple dumpling. Yeah. Here.
Sit on Uncle Coyote's lap. Have an
Yeah.
apple.
Come over here and have some apple. How is that? I'm trying to keep my head to the side here so I don't take a horn in the face. He's like, well, he made mincemeat of that apple, huh? Turned it into applesauce. So what's left? Here, you want some more of this? Oh, I think Little G's getting tired and he's ready for his nap. I'm gonna put him back over in his little home here. But I'd say what we learned today is the baby goats don't necessarily like ice cream cones. They're more interested in the healthy life, eating their vegetables. All right, Little G, let's get you in here. Bye, buddy.
From high in the sky, the pine scrub forests of southern Florida appear to be calm and quiet. Yet hidden amidst the plants and rugged terrain, reptilian invaders move with stealth amongst the shadows. I am sure you have heard tales about the Burmese python, and how this giant snake has not only become established in the Everglades, but how it has also become a serious threat to local species. However, there is a new threat that has recently crawled into the spotlight. A lizard native to South America that is notoriously famous for being an aggressive predator, the black and white tegu. Today, the crew and I are headed out into the southern regions of Homestead, Florida. We will be exploring a forested expanse that runs adjacent to an agricultural zone, where we will try our luck at finding one of these elusive reptiles.
So right now we are driving through an agricultural area, which is considered disturbed habitat, right Mario?
Yeah.
And why is disturbed habitat a good place to look for invasive species?
Well, oftentimes in disturbed habitat, you don't have any species that have been established. So non-native species come in and they find kind of an area that's free of predators and other species.
Okay.
For the Argentinian tegu, it means free food.
There are known to be at least 2 established breeding populations of tegu in this area, and sightings are reported almost weekly. These lizards are incredibly resilient to weather changes and can adapt to nearly any tropical environment, barring a plentiful food source is available. Combined with the fact that during breeding season, females can lay up to 35 eggs in a single nest, and that they have very few natural predators, you can see why their numbers have quickly increased and the populations have established a stronghold.
Okay, well this looks pretty wild out here, and I'll show you guys, check this out. Right across the way here, that is agricultural area. So this is exactly the spot where a lot of farmers have been seeing tegus. You can see on this side is agriculture, and on the opposite side is wilderness area.
No one knows exactly how many of these lizards are roaming amongst the underbrush, but experts predict numbers to run well into the thousands.
This is definitely way more wildernessy than agriculture, but it's dense. This underbrush is gonna be really hard to spot anything in. Kind of feel like moving along this old trail is probably the best way to go. Check this out. You have spots like this. The ground is starting to warm up. A spot like that is where one of these lizards could come out and be basking, and that's what we're hoping to find right now, is a lizard out basking in the sun, warming up for the day. It's actually chilly out this morning, so I don't know if that's gonna hurt our chances of actually finding one, but I guess we just start hiking and hopefully we get lucky.
We broke trail and headed off into the wilderness. Navigating this location was incredibly difficult, which forced us to move slowly as we searched among the tangled plants and rocky terrain. Tegu are masters of disguise, and their black and white skin allows them to perfectly camouflage amidst the shadows, oftentimes making them difficult to find.
I'm gonna pretty much say that trudging through that for hours is not gonna get us anywhere. I think we just stick to this road. I think we have just as good a chance of finding something on this. So let's head this direction and hopefully come across something.
All right, let's do it.
With hundreds of acres to cover, defaulting to the trail seemed like a smart play. And it wasn't long before we stumbled upon the most wanted lizard in South Florida.
What's that?
There's a tegu right there.
Where?
Look at its back. It's just up in the edge, right on the edge of the road.
I don't see it.
Right there, look at the edge of the road. You see that dark thing looks like a rock? That's a lizard.
That's not a rock?
That's a lizard. Here,
Sure?
take this camera.
Careful. Got it?
Got it.
Nice.
Yes!
Oh,
wow! That is a tegu. Woo! And it is cold. Wow, put your hand out there. Feel how cold the lizard is?
Nice.
That's why it didn't bolt. It's actually basking in the sun right now. Now, I can't get complacent because it could explode in power at any point in time. Let me get some of these grasses out of its mouth there. There we go. Wow! And sure enough, just like the farmer said, there is the black and white tegu. Look at how big that lizard is. This thing must be, what, almost 3 feet in length. Now, these guys are omnivores, which means they eat plants and animals, and one of their favorite things to eat are eggs. Look at that mouth right there, right? Now, this can take down all sorts of other little small mammals and lizards, but it's the eggs that we really worry about these lizards going after. Not only alligator eggs, but also endangered American crocodiles. Okay, yeah, you can see the lizard is now really starting to warm up in the sun. He just
geez, look at that. Look at what it just did to my arm, just with one scrape. My arm is shaking. I cannot believe we've come across a TEGU. We haven't actually even been out here that long, only searching for about 20 minutes. Now, I don't know if that's just luck, being in the right place at the right time, or if there are actually that many TEGU out here in this environment. But sure enough, just across from an agricultural area, the farmers said they have been seeing TEGUs, and this is proof right here.
Now, can a lizard like that give you a good chomp?
Oh my gosh, if my hand got stuck in the mouth of this lizard, it would be a really bad situation. Now, they are not venomous. However, their jaws will lock in place. Look at the muscle on the side of these jaws here. Incredibly powerful. Oh, I hear you hissing. I hear you hissing. Oh, hold on. Ah, jeez, he is strong. Yeah, I'm giving him exactly what he needs today, which is some time in front of the sun, and I can actually feel him getting stronger by the minute. And if you get your hands stuck in the mouth of this lizard, it's not only going to chomp down, but if it shakes its body, those teeth are curved backwards, similar to the teeth of a spiny tail iguana or something like a Komodo dragon. And those teeth will literally shred your appendages. So if I'm bitten, there's a good chance we will be on our way to the hospital.
So people at home might be wondering, like, is this a dangerous situation? Like, do we have to respect the power of this lizard? Because it seems to be pretty calm.
It does, and even I find myself getting a little complacent. Just a couple seconds ago, you saw that it lashed out with its hind legs and ripped open my arm. These claws, look at the claws on the back foot there. I mean, these are razor sharp, hooked claws. Now, these lizards are incredibly intelligent, almost problem-solving intelligent. It's one of the reasons they've become so popular in the pet trade, not to mention they're absolutely gorgeous. Look at that coloration, right?
Yeah.
Except you can see how large they get, and it's a tough creature to take care of because of the amount of food that it eats. And a lot of times people get them when they're very small, and then they think to themselves, oh, I can't take care of it anymore, it's so big, and they release them out into the wild. Now, I'm guessing that this lizard is one that probably was born in the wild, just given its skinny nature and its demeanor. So,
and this is not a pet. This is
not a pet.
That lizard seems pretty calm right now, but that's just because of the environment that it's in.
Yes, that has to do with the fact that it's cool out here this morning and the fact that it's just woken up from brumation. I mean, this is a very skinny lizard. Honestly, this lizard needs some eggs, it needs some meat, it needs some vegetables, it needs some food for sure. And I guarantee you that today this lizard was waking up, getting ready to go out there and hunt. Now, you look at this animal, you think to yourself, wow, what a gorgeous reptile. And it makes me sad to say that this is one of the few times where I catch an animal and I cannot release it back out into the wild. This is an invasive species, but the good news for this lizard is that we have a research group that's going to take it in, and it's now going to become an educational animal to teach people why the TEGU doesn't necessarily make a good pet and how they're becoming a problem now here as an invasive species in South Florida. But this was pretty awesome, spending our morning searching around and then getting up close with the black and white TEGU. Wow, he really scratched up my arm.
No one knows the exact origin of the TEGU invasion. The only thing we know for sure is that the black and white TEGU competes with and consumes Florida's native wildlife. The threat is real, and many experts feel as if the problem is getting out of control. If you live in Florida and see one of these lizards in the wild, contact your local Fish and Wildlife Division to report the sighting. These lizards are beautiful animals. However, they simply do not belong in this ecosystem.
Roughly 20 million years ago, one of the largest and most dominant predators to ever inhabit the planet lurked in the watery depths of our oceans. Averaging nearly 50 feet in length, it was a voracious eating machine. Even its name means giant tooth. And strangely enough, the only thing left today that proves its existence are its teeth, fossilized teeth. And that is exactly what we will be hunting for.
All right, we are making progress upriver right now. We've got a slight drizzle coming down, and it's perfectly setting the scene for searching out here in the wilderness for shark teeth.
On this journey back in time, we are once again working alongside Paleo Chris and Fossil Rick. These two bone hounds have a trove of top secret locations, and special permits granted by the state of Florida allow them to explore for and collect prehistoric treasure. Between 25 million and 2.6 million years ago, which was defined as the late Oligocene through the Pliocene epochs, Florida was completely submerged beneath the ocean waves, which means that today, the Sunshine State is a hotbed for fossilized shark teeth of all species, including the megalodon.
Now, why are we only finding teeth? Do we find any skeletal remains of sharks?
That's a great question. Everybody may be wondering, well, you're gonna find a whole shark skeleton? No, we're not, because shark skeletons are actually made of cartilage. So that disintegrates as a shark dies and falls to the bottom of its body of water. All we will find are the teeth.
Right, so the teeth are the only clue as to what this species may look like and how big they can get. And of course, the megalodon is the biggest of all sharks ever.
The last time Mario and I worked with Paleo Chris and Fossil Rick, our friendly competition for discovering prehistoric treasure ended in a tie. So we have once again set the stakes.
Now we've set up the challenge a bit differently today. It's still Team Paleo versus Team Fossil. And today we're gonna have an hour clock. Now the goal is to see who can find the most shark teeth, who can find the biggest shark tooth, and who can find the most brilliant tooth. Now Mario and I will be sifting along the edges while Chris and Rick actually dive to the far embankment. The reason they're going to the far side of the embankment with deep water is because as the water curves around the edge, all those teeth collect down into the deep pockets. With any luck, today, we're gonna find maybe 1,000 shark teeth. All right, guys, you got buckets? Got them. All right. Oh, wow, we got teeth here, guys. All right, Mario, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, last bone. Here's the tooth.
Oh, there's another tooth.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
And there's a tiger. We got a meg fragment and a tiger shark.
Oh boy, there's another tiger right there.
That's actually a more rare species of tiger shark's tooth.
Oh.
Wow, that's awesome. Biggest piece yet for sure.
Oh, look at that. Is that a snaggle?
So the cool thing about these teeth is the bottom teeth evolve differently. So the bottom teeth are shaped like this to hook into the flesh, and the top teeth are more like blades for sawing. So a pretty deadly combination when you have grippling teeth holding onto it, and the top are just sawing at it. I love those teeth. They're my favorite teeth to find.
Gotta have faith. Come on, meg teeth. It's amazing how many small teeth there are. You guys have to keep in mind that sharks are replacing their teeth constantly throughout the course of their lives. A shark can have as many as 10,000 teeth throughout its life cycle. And as these teeth are constantly being lost and rejuvenated, that's what's giving us the opportunity to find them in this fossilized state. When it comes to oceanic dominance, the megalodon was without question a force to be reckoned with. But over time, there are a variety of sharks that swam in this area, including tiger sharks, mako sharks, snaggletooth, lemon, and bull sharks. So while the meg hails as the holy grail of teeth to find, when it comes to collecting 1,000 shark teeth, all species are fair game. Uh-oh, looks like someone has slipped into a state of fossil fatigue.
Mario, why don't you get fossil fatigue?
Why don't I get fossil fatigue? Because I have patience. And because when you have patience, then you're going to find stuff. Look, I'm already finding tons of teeth. You gotta pay attention to the details. He just wants like a huge tooth, but of course, one of the categories is the most teeth. So any one counts, even these little teeny tiny ones.
Wow, that is an entire container filled with gravel. We're gonna have to shovel out a scoop at a time. Now let's see how many teeth we can find.
All right, let's do it.
Starting to find the good stuff now. No big meg teeth yet though. The megalodon teeth can be rather difficult to come across, so gotta just keep searching.
I don't know what's on my side there.
Oh, sweet snaggletooth shark. That right there, even though it's not huge, could be a contender for best tooth. All right, so Chris and Rick have returned with what we're considering the last two buckets. We have 15 minutes until the competition's over. Chris, how you feeling about this bucket?
Pretty good, man. Looks
Oh
good.
yeah, look at that. Holy cow, look at that. What?
That is a meg.
Holy cow, that is our first big meg tooth of the day. That is a good tooth right there, my friend. But the clock ticking right now. We're not necessarily going for quantity as much as we are going for size and perfection.
Okay. So.
Wow, look at that. That's a pretty good one right there.
Ooh, that's a crazy tiger shark tooth.
Thorough.
Oh, look at that.
Look at this guy.
Okay,
that's a nice one.
There's a fragment of a huge tooth.
That's a big one.
Holy cow, look at that right there. What? Look at that.
Whoa.
Holy cow, look at the size of that tooth. Not a perfect tooth, but that's big. That could be contention for...
Right there.
Oh yeah, another piece there. Wow, you guys did hit the jackpot. Holy cow.
Now, I love your guys' enthusiasm. You've been doing this for how long, Rick?
I've picked up probably a million teeth, but every single one I love getting, man.
That's awesome. It's like you guys just have that genuine enthusiasm, even though you've done this for a long time. You've seen many teeth, but it still excites you.
I tell you, the competition, oh my.
What is that?
Chris, I need Paleo Chris over here.
Uh-oh.
What is this, man?
Oh, that's a killer fossil. It's a dolphin tooth.
What?
It's a extinct species of dolphin.
A dolphin tooth?
You guys didn't even say we could find dolphin teeth.
Oh, awesome.
Wow, we might
Oh, man.
Holy cow, look at that right there. Look at that tooth. Look at that tooth. That is a meg tooth.
Let's see. Look how nice.
Look at that. Look at that tooth. That may be the best tooth of the day. I guess we'll wait and see. Lots to still go through.
Look. Oh, man. Wow, these are gorgeous Mako. Holy
Wow.
cow. Those Makos are phenomenal. 100% complete, and that Meg is pretty darn good, too.
All right, Chris, that looks like that's pretty much the end of it. We are just at about 1 hour exactly. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. We've gone just over an hour.
That's it.
Not finding anything else in this. Should we go take a look at what we've got?
Let's do it.
All right, so what we're gonna do is spread out all these teeth on top of a table. 1/2 for Team Paleo, 1/2 for Team Fossil. We'll find out who has the most teeth, who has the biggest tooth, and who has the best looking tooth.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Team Fossil is gonna count off their piles and then their prize teeth. Other species don't count for this competition.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 400 right there.
Those are piles of 100. Okay, 400.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50.
Wow, 450.
450.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 470.
470. Okay. That's impressive. We decided to divide ours down into 10. So I'll go 10s up to 100 and one of you just kind of keep track in case we lose track. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 93. 10, 20. 320, we're not even gonna come close. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 332 to 470.
All right.
Oh, you guys definitely got the point in quantity. Looks like my fossil fatigue may have burnt us on this one, Chris. Oh no, oh no. Okay, so Team Fossil takes the point on quantity. Now it comes down to size. Who has the biggest tooth? This is gonna be tough to tell. So for you guys, that is definitely a really big tooth, but so is this.
Right.
We've got more tip, you've got more back. Now when it comes down to the actual length of what that tooth would be, we might have you beat on length, but in weight,
So typically,
With shark's teeth.
with shark's teeth, it is usually almost always measured in length.
okay?
Okay.
You guys got us on weight, not necessarily on length.
But still, isn't it the length like from the tip to the root?
It is.
It is.
And they still have us beat, I think, on the length.
Got you
Okay.
on the
It's
length.
close. It's really
Okay, so we're tied 1-1
Okay,
again.
1-1.
So what we're gonna do now is determine the best tooth by putting our 3 best teeth in the center of the table. I went ahead and I got this little secret pocket right here. I may have been stashing a couple of goodies.
What do you mean?
What do we have there? That's a pretty good looking tooth.
There's
Let's see what
serrations
else
on
is
there.
in this pocket. This may have been my best find of the day. That tiger tooth. Okay, so now when it comes to quality of shark teeth, what is it that you look for that determines what is a pristine tooth?
You look for how nice the enamel is. You look for if there's any missing serrations, any chips, any damage.
Okay.
That might be a good size one, but look at that.
Yeah, it's got some wear and tear to it.
This
the enamel on that's pretty amazing.
That's maple smooth.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, this would probably be our weakest link. Yeah. This is your weakest link, so put those two up there.
All right.
Wow, that is a really tough call. We've got them beat in size and serration, but they've got us beat in uniqueness and enamel. You know what I think we need to do? Leave this one up to the audience. Okay. Guys, write in the comments section below and tell us which one of these teeth do you think is the best and who wins, Team Paleo or Team Fossil? All right, to break the tie between Team Fossil and Team Paleo, we need you guys to vote. Which tooth is the best? Is it Team Fossil with this tooth? We'll call that number 1. Team Fossil with tooth number 2. Team Paleo with tooth number 3. Or Team Paleo with tooth number 4. Write in the comment section below because you guys are gonna break the tie. Chris, Rick, thank you guys so much for taking us out today to one of your top secret spots. Guys, make sure to check out their YouTube channels. This was so much fun, heading out into the wild to find shark teeth. Woo, man, finding shark teeth is so cool. The largest megalodon tooth ever discovered measured a whopping 7 inches from root to tip. So I'd say we fell a bit short of breaking any records today. But that doesn't mean we didn't have a blast looking for prehistoric treasure. Look at that tooth! Somehow Paleo Chris and Fossil Rick never seem to run out of energy. So to keep up with their adventures, make sure to follow them on social media and stay tuned because our next prehistoric collaboration is already in the works. We are approaching Raccoon Key. This is our destination for the day. About a mile in length, completely uninhabited, which makes this very exciting for myself and the team. Anything's possible. You never know what you're going to find on an uninhabited island. This is it.
So there's definitely rattlesnakes around.
I'll tell you guys, if we find a rattlesnake today on this island, it just shows you that there are other biological landmines that can exist in environments like this that you do not expect. We are so far away from the mainland right now. It's amazing that a rattlesnake could possibly be out here. Wow, this is so cool. Raccoon Key. Walking around on this island truly feels like we are on another planet. All of these trees are completely bleached white. They look like alien fingers, and all of the plant life down here is really, really dense. All right, Carrie, you said there's a pocket of water this way?
Yep, right ahead of you.
Okay, just keep pressing through here. Whoa. Is that all mud out there? Is this on, this is on actual rock?
The outside is rock, but it gets really muddy towards the middle, so I wouldn't venture too far out.
Now, is this the kind of spot where you might see a crocodile or an alligator?
Sure, yeah. Especially on the keys.
Okay. I don't see anything at the moment. I'm gonna venture out just a little bit further. Whoa, it is sinky. This is cool. The water's actually really crystal clear. Lots of interesting fish. Oh, I found something neat. I think it's a dead iguana. Here, you hold the camera. This is gonna be, it might just be hiding. It might be still alive. Hold on, you got this? So just kind of keep me in frame the whole time. Sure. It's either dead or it's hiding. Tough to tell. It is very much alive. Wow, look at that.
That's insane.
We have just found Godzilla hiding amongst the water here on Raccoon Key. Unbelievable. And these are the types of creatures that you can find out here in the wild like this. A beautiful male iguana. Not full grown, but absolutely gorgeous. Look at all the striping down the length of the body. Now, what I do need to watch out for is that bullwhip type tail. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I stepped out here into the water. You can see the water is very reddish in coloration, and it's got a rather high salinity, so iguanas do just fine if they're in salt water. He must have heard us approaching, dove off of the mangroves, and stayed hidden. And there's nothing cooler than seeing an animal hiding beneath the water, and at first I was like, oh, it might be dead. But no, it's not. It's alive. How beautiful is that reptile? My goodness. And it's amazing because iguanas are excellent swimmers. So for a reptile like this to go from the mainland all the way out to this island, and as you can see, that coloration when you look at his back is absolutely epic. Got little horns up on the nose. That makes the adventure so totally worth it. Searching for mosquitoes, yet we find a beautiful iguana. How cool is that? All right, buddy, there you go. Oh, that was awesome. I found another pocket of water. Let's give that a little test real quick. Oh, wow, weird. Oh, that is some gloppy muck. Oh, smells atrocious. High sulfur content. And that is probably due to all of the rotting plant material that falls down from these trees. Got an iguana. This might be the iguana that I caught earlier, or it might be a totally different one. For the sake of this moment, we are going to catch it. Nope, it's definitely a different one. You can see it. It's right down there. I'm gonna make the catch. Got him. Look at that. Oh, another iguana. That is cool. Not the same one that we caught earlier. Iguana number 2. And what these iguanas will do is hide out in all of the mangrove areas, and when they hear something come close, they will jump into the water, bury down, and hide. And I think you're a different iguana. You look smaller than the one we caught previously, but how cool is that? All right, I'm gonna place him down in the water and watch how he swims off. Check this out. Like I said, you never know what you're gonna find. Whoa, slippery. Check this out. Oh, what could have been a crocodilian skull is just a massive piece of driftwood. I got excited for a second. And I come back further into here. I've got a little pocket in the mangroves. Pretty cool, tucked back. Nothing much to report. All right, let's continue moving out in this direction. I'll give you guys just an idea of where it is that I am. I've gone all the way around that perimeter. Oh, hold on a second. Got something else right here. Another iguana, a bigger iguana. Let me see if I can make this catch. Wow, yeah, this is definitely a different one. Very light coloration. Let me see if I can get it. That one actually looks a lot bigger. Yep, definitely a bigger lizard. Whoa, that is a good sized Godzilla right there. Look at him. Beautiful coloration. Holy mackerel. Look at the dark colors on the head. Epic lizard. Look at you. Let me turn this direction. Wow, that is a true Godzilla. Look at the dark head. Sleepy eyes. Hi, buddy, how are you? Black stripes running down the length of the body. And look at that tail. I mean, all in all, that is about a, I'd say, full length, 4-foot lizard. Holy cow, beautiful iguana. I'm gonna turn him like this, give you guys a little bit of scale. That is awesome. Our third iguana that we have come across on Raccoon Key. Incredibly docile. Notice how it's basically just hanging out in my hand. Now, you do have to worry about teeth, but the thing that's most dangerous is, of course, gonna be that tail with all those spikes and that long, slender end. If he gets angry, whips that around and catches me in the eye, it is going to be a bad situation. All right, well, we're gonna call you the dark-headed dragon of Raccoon Key. I'm gonna release you back out into the wild, see if we can get a shot of you swimming off. Here we go, ready? 1, 2, 3, and off you go. So there you have it, exploring here on Raccoon Key. It's arguable to say that I'm the first person to ever explore the watery interior of this body of water. I'm Coyote Peterson, be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.